$400 here in Mexico for 1 kilo to up to $240,000 in Australia.
Speed of organised crime at the moment, it's moving at the speed of electrons.
What's being moved through this tunnel, cocaine, methamphetamines, highly likely that ends up on the streets of Australia.
Australia's most wanted list has just been updated with the addition of a new name, and it's causing shockwaves throughout the country. Known as the new drug lord, this mysterious figure has quickly risen to the top of law enforcement's radar as the mastermind behind the influx of dangerous drugs flooding the streets of Australia. With a network spanning across the country and connections to international drug cartels, the authorities are determined to put an end to this criminal's reign of terror. The new drug lord has become the prime target of Australia's most wanted, and the hunt for their arrest is in full swing. Join us as we delve into the untold story of this notorious figure and uncover the truth behind their rise to infamy. Stay tuned for the shocking revelations and the latest updates on Australia's most wanted, the new drug lord. The shadows of Australia's underworld have long concealed figures of immense power and influence, but none have cast as long a shadow in recent times as Anthony Phillips Attar, now the focal point of Australia's most wanted. As the new drug lord, Attar's infamy has reached unprecedented heights, propelled by his alleged orchestration of a multi-ton drug importation operation that shook the foundations of Australian society. This operation, highlighted by the 2011 shipment intercepted at Port Melbourne, revealed a staggering 14 kilograms of cocaine and 133 kilograms of meth, cunningly concealed within a consignment of beer from Mexico.
And what we actually have in front of us is a seizure from yesterday, which is 800 kilos of cocaine.
Attar's operations have not only demonstrated the sophisticated and global nature of modern drug trafficking, but have also underscored the audacious audacity of those at the helm. Living now in Mexico with his family, Attar is believed to be deep in the throes of organizing further methamphetamine and cocaine shipments to Australia. Capitalizing on the country's lucrative drug market, his ability to remain elusive since 2011, despite being one of Australia's biggest drug moneymakers, speaks to the challenges facing law enforcement in combating such a nebulous and well-protected figure. The vast network of connections Attar reportedly maintains spanning cartels and criminal organizations across continents paints a picture of a man whose influence in the drug trade knows no borders. Australian authorities, in collaboration with international law enforcement agencies, continue their relentless pursuit. However, the spectre of Attar and the drugs he allegedly helps funnel into the country remain a potent reminder of the ongoing war against narcotics in Australia. The hunt for Attar, a figure who now embodies the insidious reach of the global drug market into Australia, is more than a mission to apprehend an individual. It is a battle for the safety and well-being of communities across the nation.
It's very clear that they're doing a strategy with ketamine that they also did with methamphetamine a few years ago, which is a supply push pattern, where what they do is flood the streets to build the market and therefore build the demand for it.
In Australia, the relentless demand for party drugs has inadvertently led to a steep rise in their cost, a phenomenon directly tied to the intricate web of international drug trafficking and local distribution networks. The escalation in prices is not merely a reflection of supply and demand dynamics, but also an outcome of the increased risks associated with smuggling operations. As law enforcement agencies intensify their crackdown on drug cartels and local distributors, the costs associated with evading these measures have surged. Smugglers now employ more sophisticated methods to transport drugs into the country, including the use of drones, encrypted communications, and complex logistics chains, all of which add to the final street price of these substances. Moreover, the risk of severe legal penalties has pushed the price higher, as dealers demand more money for the risks they undertake. This inflation affects not only the casual user, but also has a broader social impact, fueling a cycle of crime and addiction that undermines community safety and well-being. The rising cost of party drugs, therefore, is not an isolated economic occurrence, but a multifaceted issue at the intersection of law enforcement, public health, and societal norms. In the dense jungles of Colombia and the hidden depths of Mexico's forests, secret drug labs operate with near impunity, shielded by the natural landscape and protected by heavily armed groups. These labs, crucial nodes in the global drug supply chain, are where raw materials transform into the narcotics that flood streets worldwide, including Australia. Commandos from the Colombian National Police, often joined by international partners, such as the Australian Federal Police, engage in high-stakes operations to dismantle these covert facilities. Despite the perilous nature of these raids, the motivation remains clear. Every lab taken down disrupts the flow of drugs like cocaine and methamphetamine to markets abroad. In Colombia, vast tracts of jungle are illicitly cultivated with coca plants, the raw ingredient for cocaine. Here, commandos encounter labs where everyday chemicals and substances as mundane as cement and petrol are used in the drug's production, a stark contrast to the clean image some users perceive. Meanwhile, in Mexico, special forces uncover meth labs capable of producing astonishing quantities of the drug, emphasizing the scale of the challenge. The process from raw material to final product is not only complex, but laden with danger, both for those involved in its manufacture and the authorities committed to their eradication. These clandestine operations are a testament to the dark underbelly of the global drug trade, a reminder of the lengths to which organizations will go to maintain their lucrative enterprises. Australian beaky gangs have significantly expanded their operations beyond local borders, amassing offshore billions in an intricate web of international drug trafficking, with operations now sprawling across Mexico, Colombia, Laos, and Thailand.
70% of our high-value targets actually operate offshore. We, law enforcement around the world, we're the biggest gang in the world. And only by working together are we going to have some sort of impact to make the environment hostile for organised criminals.
These gangs have placed themselves at the epicenter of the global narcotics trade. By establishing a closer proximity to the source of production, Australian outlaw motorcycle gangs, including the Comanchero, the Lone Wolves, and the Hells Angels, have secured unprecedented access to purer drugs and more favorable pricing structures, enhancing their profit margins exponentially. This strategic relocation has also facilitated an unexpected shift in gang dynamics. Traditional rivalries have been set aside in favor of collaborative ventures that maximize revenue. The sophisticated use of encrypted technologies allows these beaky kingpins to orchestrate vast drug distribution networks remotely, coordinating logistics and financial transactions with an efficiency that rivals legitimate multinational corporations. Their transnational criminal endeavors have not only generated immense wealth, but have also impacted local economies and real estate markets, as these profits are laundered through luxury assets and property investments. This globalized approach to organized crime by Australian bikies underscores the challenges law enforcement faces in dismantling networks that operate with such complex international reach. In the dimly lit underbelly of the borderlands, a network of deadly narco tunnels weaves a clandestine path from Mexico to the United States, directly challenging the efforts of law enforcement agencies on both sides. These tunnels, some beginning just steps away from fortified barriers, are feats of illicit engineering designed to transport not just drugs, but also weapons and human cargo, beneath the watchful eyes of border patrols. The construction of these passageways is as ingenious as it is audacious, with cartels investing significant resources into their development. Inside, the atmosphere is stifling, the air thin, as smugglers navigate cramped quarters that stretch for meters below the surface. Essential to their operation are makeshift ventilation systems, rudimentary lighting, and in some cases, rails or pulleys to facilitate the movement of contraband. Despite the risks, these tunnels represent a vital artery for the cartels, a lifeline that fuels their operations and extends their reach into the heart of communities thousands of miles away. Among those wielding this subterranean strategy, the Sinaloa and CJNG cartels stand out, their names synonymous with a relentless pursuit of profit at the expense of safety and security, their products destined for markets as distant as Australia. Amid the ongoing battle against drug trafficking, a new dangerous drug has emerged, posing unprecedented threats to public health and safety. Fentanyl, a synthetic opioid 50 times more powerful than heroin, has become the biggest challenge confronting law enforcement worldwide.
It's much more profitable, synthetic drugs are, because of the way that they're produced, that much more advantageous to organized crime. So they migrated their production that used to be in the Philippines or Malaysia or China into the Golden Triangle, where it's basically for them a safe haven to produce.
Unlike natural opioids, fentanyl is synthesized quickly and inexpensively, making it a highly attractive product for drug cartels looking to maximize profits. This lethal drug can be produced in mere hours by mixing a few basic substances, requiring no specialized equipment beyond what might be found in a typical kitchen. The potency of fentanyl is such that a dose the size of a few grains of salt can prove fatal, a factor contributing to its alarming mortality rate. Its introduction into the Australian market is a concern for authorities, given the devastating impact it has already had in North America, where it has been linked to a significant surge in overdose deaths. The adaptability of drug traffickers, who now source fentanyl precursors from the unregulated pharmaceutical sector in China, further complicates efforts to combat this crisis. With Asia's Golden Triangle shifting towards a synthetic drug economy, the risk of fentanyl and other synthetic opioids infiltrating Australia through sophisticated smuggling routes has become a pressing issue for law enforcement and public health officials alike. Once notorious as the murder capital of the world under the ruthless rule of drug lord Pablo Escobar, Medellin, Colombia, has undergone a dramatic transformation. Escobar's reign of terror in the 1980 and 1990 left the city stained with violence and fear, a place where the lawlessness of drug cartels dictated the pace of daily life.
We're seeing black flights going in and out of the country, moving drugs from the Pacific into Australia.
Those small societies don't have the health systems, the policing systems to handle methamphetamine.
Another one of my concerns is the fact that we're actually starting to see some of these drugs on the streets in the Pacific, and the effect of that in terms of their communities could be enormous.
However, following Escobar's death and concerted efforts by local authorities and communities, Medellin has emerged from its dark past as a vibrant, dynamic tourist hotspot. The city, now Colombia's second largest, is renowned for its rich culture, innovation, and resilience. Community-driven initiatives and infrastructure improvements, such as the iconic escalators of Comuna 13, have reinvigorated previously marginalized neighborhoods, turning them into colorful canvases and symbols of progress. Medellin's annual flower festival, innovative public transportation system, and inclusive urban projects reflect the city's commitment to reinvention and social cohesion. Today, attracting millions of tourists from around the globe, Medellin stands as a testament to the power of transformation and the ability of a community to redefine itself beyond a history of violence. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any of our latest true crime stories. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below about what you think of Australia's newest criminal mastermind and what you want to see in our next episode. Stay tuned for more gripping content. Until next time, stay informed and stay safe.